Sure.
It's so hard to say just a little bit about this couple. There's so much.
Okay, you're very welcome. I'll be very interested to hear how you would introduce us.
How can I do this short? Yeah, this is amazing couple. They live on the most northern King's Domain, a settlement called Karelskoe Zalesie. And they really, especially Vadim and Galina, she has even her blog in English now. She shares their experience living on the land. Vadim is author of films about settlements, and you can watch his YouTube channel and his films there as well with the subtitle. They did great job to get this Ringing Cedar movement go on and like spread all the information that Anastasia shared with us. And they also do those kids camps, which is just one of them is just finished yesterday, right? Yesterday
on the 11th.
So my son participated in those camps as well, and he loved it. They support the traditional education and so much more they do. And also I really like their slogan. You can see it on their picture. It says we just keep building our King's Domain in any incomprehensible situations. And those situations you can get a lot when you start living on the land. I'll just probably let them.
I'm so sorry. Can I please interrupt you, because I see that Vadim kind of zones out as we're speaking English, and he doesn't understand what's going on. You can translate him a bit what he told already, okay? Светлана просто нас представляла, сказала, что ты там автор фильмов, что у нас лагерь и так далее. Все очень хорошо, все очень позитивно о тебе. Okay, you can go on.
Я, наверное, просто дам вам уже слово, чтобы у вас было побольше времени. Думаю, люди вас хотят больше услышать. Да, Вадим, я представила вас как можно коротко, но это сложно. Все сказать, что вы делаете. И вообще, на самом деле, благодарность такая вам, что вы сегодня смогли выйти. Вот. Okay, I'll just let them.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Svetlana. It's perfect.
And can you please give us some details about the participants, how many who are listening to us? And
we have 97 people right now.
In this room, right?
Right now.
Yep.
So they will be asking questions. There's a question section here. There's a little chat, and it's a mixture of Ringing Cedars readers. I think it's probably mostly Ringing Cedars readers, and probably maybe 30% or maybe 40% people who haven't read the books but are very interested to learn more about the lifestyle. Something like that.
Okay, and about the questions, are they gonna just write them in the chat or voice out?
So there's a section on the bottom of your screen. It says Q&A. And people will submit questions there. Sometimes people put questions in the chat, but they're supposed to put them in the Q&A. So everybody who's watching, please put your questions in the Q&A, please, so they don't get lost in the chat. But yeah. So if you want to answer questions as you're speaking, you can feel free to do so. If you want to take some time at the end, maybe 30 minutes or 20 minutes to do questions and answers, you can do that too. It's whatever you prefer.
I believe it's better to put them at the end, just because it might be a bit complicated to follow, to translate, and to switch between languages. So I'm sorry, just don't forget, please write down your questions while we're talking, and I believe 30 minutes will be enough to answer all the questions. I hope.
Perfect.
It depends on the number of questions.
We'll do our best. Yeah. Great.
Okay, so Vadim, can you please tell me something about yourself?
Ты должна была про наше поселение должна была рассказать коротко, без меня, без моих переводов.
Okay, please tell me about the settlement. Расскажи, пожалуйста, о нашем поселении.
Ты говоришь, что ты будешь рассказывать.
Ну, Вадим, я, может быть, не знаю каких-то там деталей.
Наше поселение самое северное в России.
So, as Svetlana has already mentioned, our settlement is the most northern settlement among King's domains.
Возможно, поэтому у нас не так много обустраивается родовых поместий. 17 родовых поместий обустраивается, в 8 проживают постоянно.
Maybe that's the reason why we don't have so many families who are living here. So altogether 17 King's domains, and approximately half of people live all year around here.
Живем не очень дружно.
Okay, we are not a very friendly settlement. No, I would say that's quite a common thing.
Будет но.
Okay, but we are not very friendly, but...
Но очень ценим то, что мы здесь есть. То есть каждый ценит то, что такие хорошие соседи рядом. Но все равно дружно не получается. Мы очень разные.
Okay, we are very, very different here, but we appreciate each and every member, every King's domain, every person who lives here.
Например, на чай мы ходим только к троим.
Okay, just for example, we can visit only 3 King's domains. Just in Russian, it's called go for tea, to drink tea together. But...
Нас часто все про это все.
Okay.
Нас часто спрашивают, что растет в Карелии, что можно вырастить на севере. Практически все, но гораздо труднее.
Mostly when people come here, they ask, what can you grow here? Because it's so cold, it should be so cold here, but basically we can grow everything. Believe me, literally almost everything here. Just we can survive here.
У нас не получаются абрикосы.
Okay, just except for apricots, oranges, bananas, okay, they're not for this climate.
А вот первый раз виноград сейчас в теплице зреет.
Okay, yes, we have an achievement that we want to share, that this year we've got 2 bunches of grapes, of course in the greenhouse, but that's the first time.
Ну, все про наше поселение. Мы молодцы.
No, okay, just it's all in all about our settlement. I would maybe disagree with Vadim that we are, he said, unfriendly. I can't say so, just because although people read the books, but the perception of books is quite different. So some people understand Anastasia's advice quite literally. Some of them think that, okay, there are possible just maybe some inclinations from these rules. So that's why. But as Vadim told, yes, we appreciate everybody, although we maybe don't understand sometimes each other, although we have read the books. But we appreciate that a person lives here, and that conquers everything, I would say. Все сказал, что это все вот мы непобедимы. Yes. We are unstoppable.
Каждый, кто сюда переехал, он счастлив и возвращаться отсюда в другую жизнь не хочет.
Yes, but the thing is that if a person decided to stay here, to live in our settlement, so this person stays here forever. Yes, I would say he or she doesn't come back to the city. We mean just to the civilization.
Можешь попробовать объяснить разницу между волей и свободой? Здесь не просто свобода, здесь воля. То есть как только почувствовал волю, то это такое человеческое чувство, которое нигде больше не почувствуешь, кроме как на своей земле.
Okay, it's a challenge for translation, but in Russian there is such a word that we can basically describe as freedom, but it's more than freedom. That's the freedom of soul. And in the Russian language, we have a special word for this. It's called voля. And it means that not only about the space, but it's also about this freedom of your soul. And that's particularly what people feel when they come here. Because we have endless land, endless forest, of course, sky, and this endless soul begins here as well.
Можно переходить уже к 9 дням освобождения мысли.
Okay, you can proceed. Maybe you will tell your story, just how you started your King's Domain here. Как ты начал все здесь?
Ну, это же все эзотерика, мистика.
Let's do it. It's a very wonderful story.
В 2004 году прочитал книги. Сразу решил, что надо искать землю. На следующий день нашел объявление в газете в местной. Ищем единомышленников для создания поселения.
So in 2004, I read Vladimir Migra's books, and immediately I decided to start to set up my King's Domain. And again, it's a kind of a miracle, but the next day I saw an advertisement in a local newspaper about that there is a group of people who are going to start, who are looking for people who want to live in a King's Domain. So they just were about to set it up.
Соответственно, оформил землю там в Тверской области, в другой части, в центре России. А потом на 3 года занялся зарабатыванием денег и забыл о родовых поместьях.
So it wasn't here, it wasn't in Karelia, it was in Tverskaya Oblast, it's near Moscow. And I legally purchased a piece of land there, and for the next three years I forgot about my King's Domain because I decided that I need some money for that. So for 3 years I started to make money for that.
Довел себя до состояния деньги есть, счастья нет.
Okay, and after these 3 years, I reached such a state when, okay, I've got money, I have them, but no happiness.
И вспомнил совет Анастасии про 9 дней освобождения мысли.
And I recalled a tip from Anastasia that there is such a thing as 9 days of freeing your soul. There is such a technique in the book.
Говоря современным языком, вот просто весь мой опыт всех этих вот практик, эзотерики и прочее, эти 9 дней освобождения мысли самая мощная и самая простая практика. Самая глубокая проработка переворачивает сознание обязательно в хорошую сторону, пробуждает хорошие чувства, пробуждает хорошие способности, меняет жизнь кардинально. Ну, в лучшую сторону, просто все складывается. Это просто чудесный совет Анастасии.
So this technique, 9 days of freeing your soul, is the deepest, the most important, the most powerful technique I've ever had. And I know that Vadim experienced some other techniques, and his way to Anastasia's books, it wasn't so easy and simple. And according to him, that's the most powerful tool that you can use to understand what to do next.
После первых 9 дней освобождения мысли.
And how did you do it? Can you please explain 9 days of what did you do?
Вот там в книге всего одна фраза. Каждый сам сможет дать себе определение, если сможет свою мысль хотя бы на 9 дней освободить, не остановить, освободить.
So there is only one phrase, one sentence in Anastasia's book that everybody will be able to understand his or her aim of life when if he or she will be able to free her soul. And how do you mean free your soul? So what is it exactly? Как это значит освободить душу?
Каждый сам должен понять, как его мысль не свободна и как ее освобождать. Я множество раз объяснял людям, как освобождать мысль, но все равно у всех все по-разному.
So there is there is only one sentence in the book, and that's why there are no details. So everybody understands by themselves what it means to free your thoughts, to free your soul, your mindset, kind of. And as Vadim says, that he explained to a lot of people how to do it, but you only can feel that you can free your thoughts, how you can free your thoughts.
Еще уточни, что не остановить, а освободить.
And exactly not to stop thinking about something, not to stop thinking, but free your thoughts.
Чтобы она, наоборот, мчалась с ускорением.
Just to let it go, yes.
Это уже мое представление, это я уже начинаю советы давать.
Okay, that's Vadim said. That's my understanding of like let it go, let your thoughts
После
go.
первых 9 дней освобождения мысли я лишился источника дохода, потому что от меня мои компаньоны отказались.
Okay, and when he tried it for the first time, this 9 days of freeing your thoughts, his business partners just couldn't reach him because he was unreachable, and they just stopped having business with him, so he lost his business partners. And
зато изменилось мое отношение к людям настолько, что мне показалось, что все поумнели вокруг.
But his mind changed so greatly that he started to perceive people as people became wiser, more intellectual.
И я вернулся к себе и про родовые поместья вспомнил настолько, что решил к ним вернуться. Все, заняться родовым поместьем. Не только об этом говорить, не только деньги для этого зарабатывать, но и прийти на землю.
And finally, I remembered about that. My major goal was to make some money for my king's domain, and I came back to my land.
Но так как люди стали странно ко мне относиться, с кем я работал, я решил еще раз на 9 дней мысль свою освободить. Вдруг я что-то себе напридумывал, вдруг я ошибся.
Okay, there was another consequence that people started to behave strangely towards Vadim, and he understood maybe there is something wrong with me or with people, so he decided to repeat his experience of these 9 days of freeing his thoughts.
К тому времени я уже 3 года жил в Карелии, дом в Карелии был.
Okay, at that time I have already bought a house in Karelia.
В первый день пришел вопрос в виде образа, почему именно Карелия, и сразу же пришел ответ, потому что мне здесь уже хорошо.
And when for the second time I experienced these 9 days of freeing my thoughts, in the first day, I felt a question. So why Karelia? Why here? And then the answer came that because I already feel good here.
Этим я хочу показать, насколько тотально я себе доверяю. Так я выбрал в Тверской области создавать родовое поместье или в Карелии. Вот мне достаточно было просто образного вопроса, образного ответа.
This technique, it's so simple, but at the same time it's so powerful, and it shows how I believe, how I trust myself. So already in the first day I got this question and got the answer. So this technique shows also how I trust myself.
На 4-й день освобождения мысли пришел образ, что мне нужно поехать здесь в известное мне поселение, и все.
Mm-hmm. So, and on the 4th day, I felt that I should come here. So he knew that the people here are building a settlement of King's Domain. So on the 4th day, I felt that I should come here. I mean, Zalesie, right? In Zalesie, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Приехал, поставил машину в случайном месте, пошел в произвольном направлении, через несколько минут вышел на полянку и почувствовал чувство, которое никогда ранее не чувствовал и никогда позже не чувствовал. Я дома.
Mm-hmm. So he came here by his car, and he was wandering around, and he put his car somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and he went in any direction. He didn't know where to go, and somehow he suddenly felt like he was at home, and he says that he has never felt it before, and that was like once in a lifetime feeling that that's home, that's my place.
Этого оказалось достаточно для того, чтобы этой же весной начать строить, хотя, по сути, я без 5, ну ладно, просто начать строить и все.
So, and that feeling was enough for me to immediately this spring, I started building a house here on this place where I felt this divine feeling.
Это я все рассказывал для того, чтобы проиллюстрировать, что такое тотальное доверие себе, насколько оно выгодно и насколько глубокая вот эта практика 9 дней сопровождения мысли.
So I'm telling you about it just to illustrate how it is important to trust yourself, trust your gut, and trust your feelings, and how powerful this technique is, this 9 days of freeing your thoughts.
Все про 9 дней освобождения мысли.
That's all about this.
Может, там есть какой-нибудь глубокий вопрос?
No, as for questions, maybe do you remember the book where it was written about this technique? Какая книга, где это было? The fifth book.
Кто же мы?
Who are we, yeah?
Перед главой «Вольная ли у нас мысль?»
About, you're talking about the chapter. Okay, so the fifth book. It's there, this sentence about these 9 days. Okay, enough to words. So you build a house, started building house, начал строить дом и...
Ну что, и жить счастливо все, с тех пор я живу в раю. Сначала я жил чувствами в раю, а вот сейчас, спустя 15 лет, я и материально в раю.
Okay, and afterwards, when I started building it was the first house, and at that time I felt like it should be like living in paradise. And nowadays, after 15 years, I literally see everything. My paradise is material, because yes, I can tell you that more and more often I see Vadim lying on the grass, and right now, how to say, the weather is wonderful in Karelia, it's pretty warm, and he's just lying and seeing around with children playing around him, and that's after 15 years, yes, I can say it feels like paradise, I agree. Я просто дополнила, что как ты лежишь, наслаждаешься, lying and watching everything.
Ну, что теперь ты хотела рассказать?
I may say you maybe about our love story.
Тоже эзотерическая история, очень
Because
продуманная,
it's
очень глубокая.
another mysterious story that happened to us. May tell it without you? Без тебя?
Ну да, конечно.
Okay, so just because I joined Vadim 2.5 years ago. 2,5 года назад, right? No, almost 3 years. Okay, doesn't matter. And as Vadim is a very well-known blogger in Russian Ringing Cedars community, and he's one of the first bloggers when there was no YouTube, no Instagram or whatever, and Vadim was the first who. Okay, he started 15 years ago, right? And at that time there was just emailing. So he used to have like a regular newsletter when you subscribe, and he wrote regularly about his King's domain, about his pluses, minuses. And I remember I was subscribed to him because he was the only one who wrote about it. Yes, there wasn't so many blogger. We even didn't know this word blogger at that time, but he was the only one who shared his experience. And what I mostly liked about him, that he was very modest and honestly told about his problems. For example, like, okay, I was an idiot here, or I wanted this, but it didn't turn out. So he wasn't, you know, such a silly guy like, oh, everything is great here. I don't know, the sky is blue, the trees are blossoming and so on. No, he was very realistic. And at that time when I was reading his newsletters, I realized like, wow, he's building his kin's domain. I know that's pretty hard. At the same time, he has enough power to, at the time he had another family. So he has power to build his relationship, and he has enough power to take photos, some little videos, and to share it with everybody. And he's not afraid to say like, I'm an idiot, you know, just it didn't work out here. And that's why I appreciated it very much in him. And at the time I thought, okay, he was the only one, like the God in our community, because there was nobody, literally nobody. And of course, I just supported him with my dreams, because at the time I was living in a town, in a city. Okay, I have read the books when I was a teenager, but I was at a university, so no time to think about kin's domains and do something about it. But it was always my dream. And when I subscribed to you, so когда я на тебя подписалась?
Когда мы встретились, ты сказал 10 лет назад, но я не
Okay,
помню.
so about 10 years ago, we subscribed to him, and I was in relationship as well. So he had family, I had another family, my family, and that's also very interesting. But somehow our families broke nearly at the same time. So I'm divorced, and Vadim is divorced as well. And we divorced nearly at the same time. And of course, you need time to recover. You need time to kind of, no, you know, if you were divorced, you know what I'm talking about. You need to come back to your normal state. And I wrote a kind of advertisement. There is a Russian website, anastasia.ru, and there is a special section for those who wants to find your second part and your partner. Of course, with this, I only knew that I wanted somebody who is living in a kin domain, who is not like, okay, I want it, that's my dream, but who is really doing something about it. Because as my first husband, he was like, okay, that's a great idea, but let's wait, we need money, we need time, blah, blah. And okay, we are already 30 and we have a child, but it's still like, okay, let's wait. And I told him, I'm not going to wait for my whole life. I'm 30, just I want to start it. And at that time we had a quarrel, that because he just kind of told me, it's not real what you're dreaming about. You will never have it. Just let's live in the city. It's a beautiful dream, but that's it. But I told, no, it just, I want to believe, I want to do it. Just okay, my little introduction to my poor, miserable life. No,
You're
nevertheless,
okay.
so no, just I want to share that it's okay to be divorced, because when I was divorced, and of course that's a huge pressure on a woman, and I was a woman with a child, that okay, nobody will ever take you, and because I believe that there is such a perception of Anastasia books that, no, first of all, a girl should be not virgin, okay, and I was with a child, I'm not virgin, I'm 30 and not pretty fresh, how to say it, no, whatever, just all these misconceptions and prejudice against divorced women. So I want to support you women and men who think that they are not good enough, that they don't, that you don't, I don't know, possess something. You do possess. You need to get over, and you see, just it happens. That's why I want to share my story, that it's possible to find another man, and there are actually men who have the same destiny or something, that all in our life, all the steps are for the better. Just yes, maybe people, when they think about Anastasia, they expect that there will be a goddess came to you. I was just a poor woman. No, maybe at the time I thought about myself like that. And I was so shocked when I received a message from Vadim on this Anastasia on this Anastasia website.
By the way, can I say one thing? I also use that website, and I found my wife through that website. Just saying.
Oh,
yeah,
it works.
It works.
Although this site is very old and
It's old.
it's so unprofessional. It's kind of. I remember it was very painful to exchange messages over there.
Was.
But when Vadim wrote to me like, hi, what men usually write about such things, how are you doing, and so on, I was so shocked that I even didn't think about that such a goddess, Vadim Karabinskie, so he could also he had the divorce and his wife left him, and I couldn't believe that, because for me he was like something divine and very, very, I don't know, without any problems could occur in his kin's domain. But he wrote to me, and I was like, what's wrong? Where? I even asked him, where is your wife? Because I didn't follow him for a while, and he told me, yes, that's poor story, because she left me and didn't come back. And so we started exchanging messages, and in a while we wanted to meet in Moscow, but it happened like that because Vadim had troubles with his father, with his health, and we couldn't do it. And then I thought somehow that I had time, I had some money, and I told him, I can come to Karelia if you don't mind. That's typically not very traditional, like a woman coming to a man's place, very, I would say, tricky thing. But I was so sure about Vadim because I followed him for so much time. I knew that nothing could happen. Just, of course, you're a woman, you're a man, but I strongly believed him. And on a New Year's Eve for 4 days, I came to his kin's domain, and it was such a miracle. So we talked and discussed everything, and even it was, I don't know, 4 days of miracle. And after 4 days, we even said bye-bye, like, okay, that maybe isn't very real. So let's meet again and see what's next. So we met again after 2 weeks in Moscow for a day, and we understood that this miracle works, that we really like each other and we have so many things in common. We were so inspired that in January, I visited him for the first time, and in February already, so in a month, he came to my house, he talked to my parents, and then we traveled back together to Karelia. And this is how we can say in a month you can find a wife and start a family. That's how it happened. And we live happily ever since, I suppose. Счастливо живем. Yes, we live happily.
Ты сказала концептуально, что изначально вел все Смиты для того, чтобы встретить ее.
Okay, no, I didn't mention that Vadim's intention when he created all this emailing newsletter was to find her, was to find the only one. And that's what happened. I read him, I was subscribed to him. No, I want to believe that I'm the only one.
Ну ладно, это ты по рассылкам думала, что там гад и все такое. А теперь ты когда посмотрел на меня изнутри?
Okay, he asks me, okay, that's you perceived me, you found out about me through emailing, and what do you think about me right now? When you see me in real? No, of course, when you see a person of course, there are some changes, yes, but more or less I'm when you have this deep understanding of a person, and the thing that in the kin's domain, maybe there is the only way where you can see a person itself without any stress, without any, I don't know, other businesses, because in the city you have to go somewhere, you always have something to do. Or for example, you can go to such beautiful cafes, restaurants, I don't know, cinemas, but in a real life, you don't go every day there. So in a real life, you just live together with all this routine and chores, so on. And in this time, kin's domain really helps you to see a real person. What he can, just for example, I saw his house, how it is built, and what should be done, his kin's domain in 15 years, what he has already created. So I saw a real man. Should I translate it?
Не надо. Может, дальше нас уже направлять будут. Мы же не планировали больше никаких вдохновляющих историй.
Let's see the timing. Okay, no, we have some time.
Так мы
to
же не
continue.
запланировали ничего.
Yeah, you have
No,
time.
we can talk about. So about the. Let's talk about что у нас, что здесь такого вот классного, что здесь такого хорошего в Карелии.
Но это от организма зависит. То есть здесь в Карелии живут те, кому природа Карелии дарит здоровье. То есть я, например, здесь природу воспринимаю как источник силы. Здесь природа держит напряжение, сама напряженная. На юге она такая вялая.
Okay, we want to continue talking about Karelia and the place where we live and what it gives us. The first thing Vadim says, it's the power that this land gives to us, because Karelia is a kind of a tough climate and tough climate zone, yes, but the nature here is also tough, and this maybe fierce nature that gives this energy back. And as he showed that in the south, the nature is a kind of weak, maybe it's not so, clean as well, because in my opinion, the south is the agricultural, I don't know, tortured a lot. And Karelia is not a land of agriculture a lot because of the climate. It's nature of real forest, animals, stones, wind, for example, this great Onega Lake. So it's all about power, force, even, I don't know, the force of winter, because it can be pretty cold here, but now it feels fine for me. So just the land of power.
Мало чиновников, мало людей, много воды.
Okay. Great plus is that it's not so densely populated, honestly. We've got a few people here living, and a few governmental officials, so less control, and a lot of water. Yes, really, we don't have any problems with water.
Кто не оформляет землю, у того меньше всех проблем.
And such a unique feature, I know that the first day you devoted to legal things, but maybe only in Karelia, as we don't have so many people here, and lack of control, honestly. So we've nearly half of our neighbors, they are not legal. So I would say they don't do anything with their land. And they just illegally live on the land for 10, 15 years. Some of them even don't care. Some of them try to find a legal way how to actually, I don't know, do something about it. But sometimes it's so complicated here. So maybe they really don't care. So we live here. And when we tell people that you can come and just literally, you want this place, okay, start building. That's how Vadim actually did. When he found this piece of land, he legally started all these procedures only after 3 years. Even in 5 years. So yeah, even in 5 years, he legally started to think about, okay, how could it be?
Если бы откладывал, то не жил бы 15 лет в раю.
And the thing that he said that if I started thinking first about some of these legal things here, I would never build my king's domain. However, I must admit that things have changed, and maybe it was a thing of the past. Now people have a different mindset, and the first thing they ask is about how can we do it legally. So this maybe people are not so brave enough, but at the same time is different. So now more or less people think about legal things firsthand.
Единственная проблема, то, что доходы у россиян в 10 раз меньше в связи с тем, что Россия колония США.
Should I tell about it?
Нет, зачем?
No, okay, the only problem that that's also quite a poor region. So it's quite hard to earn some money here. Let's say it like that. Maybe I should tell my experience, because I relocated here, let's say 2.5 years ago with my son, and it was quite challenging. Challenging, yes, for me, as before my child was I cannot say he was very ill, but more or less he got ill quite frequently, almost every month. And when I came here, I had, I don't know, half of my suitcase was medicine against all kinds of things, because I understood that, okay, I'll live in the middle of the forest, no no drugstore, whatever, and my child can literally, and it's going to be my son was at the time 3 years old, and so I took a lot of medicine with me, and he has never been ill. No. Okay, so when he came here, he spent only 1 day like sleeping, and it was a kind of acclimatization, so he adjusted to the climate here. He slept for 1 day. I didn't touch him. He just drank some water, tea, and went back to sleep. And afterwards, I just even didn't need to visit the doctors. He changed his perception of, maybe not, he didn't change, he changed, it was my vision, because in a city, you know, when you go outside, you need to dress your child like, you know, I don't know, like a cabbage with this hat and these 3 types of, I don't know, trousers, pants, 2 types of socks, and special that's for winter, that's for mid-season. And he doesn't care. Now he has only 1 jacket. It's called kind of a mid-season jacket, and he wears this jacket in spring, in winter. Sometimes he forgets about it. He doesn't wear any hats at all. So he totally changed my perception of dressing a boy, and he didn't get ill, to my surprise. Although it was quite cold here, and we experienced different seasons, and sometimes when he wants to play, he really plays under the rain. He doesn't want to go home, and just it's totally unimaginable in city when you're okay. Of course, he runs naked in the summer. Sometimes he forgets to get dressed and so on. And ever since when he didn't get ill. And this is such a shock. It's still so surprising for me. And yes, pure water, air, he and the same was for my health. I can't say that I was quite a healthy person, but not more or less, you know, sometimes you get cold, sometimes you feel like under the weather. And here I more or less felt more healthy, and I didn't need any medicine, because I also took something with me, because I could also kind of get ill and so on, but I just didn't need all these things. And that's the greatest achievement for me. And also my son, as I discovered, he was so much interested in, we've got a horse, so he started to make friends with the horse. I'm afraid of big animals. For example, I cannot approach a horse like that. And he is such a young children, they are fearless. He started playing with horse, just imagine horse and a 3-year-old boy. So they're amazing how you never know what will be. And now we have a daughter, and she was born according to Anastasia's principles. So we gave birth here in this house together with Vadim, and our daughter is amazing. So she is really so wise, and she's so quick, she understands everything. And again, as I had experience with the first son, I was already like, okay, when you have a child, you need this, that, so many things, but it's all just like nonsense. It's all loses, I don't know, all these things. So I'm maybe that's a thing that we women should discuss in a separate section, all these things that happen with children, because that's amazing. And I see this transformative experience with my son, and I see my daughter, and we're expecting the third. Though it's a wonderful experience. And before I was afraid of having babies, because in a city, it's such a stress. You cannot do this, and there are so many things you have to do, and it's so much easier here. Just it changed my mind totally, completely, and I'm still in the process of maybe changing it, because we are raising the daughter, and children are different here. So I genuinely believe that they would understand more, and I believe that they know more about the universe. They feel it better, because I feel that I have some like borders, because I have for 30 years I lived in a city, and they are fearless, they boundless, and that really inspires me, that we have something to hope for, I would say. So maybe we start answering some questions. What do you think, Gabriel? Yes, yes. Talking about we've got a virus. Maybe it was even coronavirus, because we have a guest house. So people from usually Vadim's readers, they read and they want to talk to Vadim about, because he has a vast experience of we didn't talk much about it, but Vadim created 2 films about King's Domain. So it means he traveled all around Russia, and he did it twice. In 2010, it was his first film about King's Domains. And just recently, about a year ago, he made his second film about King's Domains. Now it has 5 parts, and it's all about children, love, and how to about money issues, and 5 parts about King's Domain. And Vadim has an intention that in 10 years he will again start making a film about kids who were born, who grew in King's Domain. So that will be his 3rd film about it. And all his films are kind of a crowdfunding. So just people who are interested in this topic, they just send him some money, and he buys tickets, and that's how he films and everything, and travels. And by the way, when even he came to take me from my parents' house, he again joined it. He visited, by the way, Anastasia Taran, family Taran that talked before us. because they were filmed in the film. They're from Ulyanovsk region where I lived. So even when he came to take me with my son, he visited another settlement and where he asked questions and he filmed this beautiful family, Taran. So that's it. Yes, that's his, everything is on YouTube, but the thing maybe with subtitles and things like that.
I eventually want to get it translated into English because the films are very good.
I believe there automatic translation is possible, but I watched it sometimes and it translates sometimes. Translation is quite funny. Because automatic Google translation is more or less okay, you can get the sense, the meaning, but yes, it's better when there will be somebody who will do the translation thing. But films are very inspirational. I love them a lot.
Yeah, even if you don't speak Russian, you should just go watch the films and do it with the automatic translation because it's very valuable and it's very just seeing inside people's lives. There's a lot in the films. The films are very good.
Yes, just if you don't want to believe just us, you can watch the films. And yes, these are real people. As Vadim, he has special, how to say, rules. He doesn't film anybody, only families who have lived for 10 years there. They're still a family, so they have kids and so on. So real Anastasia's people who didn't start, but they have experience, real one.
In our description of the event here, it says that he asked 30 questions to 30 families from 11 Kinzoman settlements for a total of 900 answers, and the best of which were included in the films.
Sorry? He says we are similar in the video, like we look like brother and sister. No, I can't say it.
You guys?
So that's like one of his projects. The second project, as Svetlana said, is we have just finished our boys and girls camp. Every year we have a big camp here for girls and for boys with traditional education. Like traditional for women, we are separate camps, and that's also quite a difficult project for us, but we still think that it's quite very important, because when I see that we just the main thing is because people kids come from mostly from Moscow, St. Petersburg, so all from all these big cities where they don't have no idea how to live on the land, how to because there is such a conception that village is something for I don't know, for people who only drink alcohol here and there is nothing to do. So poor people, or village is only for, retired people. And when they see that, okay, we show them how people live here. We visited our king's domains. We show them, okay, these have horses. This family has, I don't know, chicken. This family doesn't have anything, but they have a beautiful garden and so on. And I believe that children should see it, the different way of lifestyle, because living in a city, okay, just what else you can do is here. And it's also about this freedom of, I don't know, running, playing, and all the things they can do. And of course, the thing that we try to show that this is a girl and this is a boy, because in the city it's more or less they do the same things, and we try to differentiate somehow to show the role of a woman. Why is it different, and what's the aim of a man? Why do you need a man? Because I often hear that the girls say, oh, I don't need anybody, I'll be a powerful woman that will support myself, I will earn a lot of money, I don't need anybody. Like this no children, no men, and so on. We often, no, I cannot say we fight with this conception, but if we go once, we cannot for 10 days, we cannot change anything about it, but at least show that, okay, alone, okay, you can be powerful, but have a look how like a powerful woman plus a powerful man. So that could be like a dish boom and so on. So we try to channel this conception in this way.
I just want to add a little bit about those camps as well. I want to say, like Galina just said, that we can change the girls in like 10 days or a week. But I would say that my son, like he changed a lot even for that short period of time. When all the time when he comes back from those camps, like how much more respect he shows like to older people, how he behave, how he like more self-independent, and it's amazing. Even in that short period of time, he changed a lot, and even they go back like in their city life after that, as Galina said, but it's already in their mind. They already have experience like for like other, they have options now, they can compare. Yeah. And it's very important, and it's like and my son just loved it a lot. Yeah, it's, I'm so grateful that you guys doing that.
And the thing is that my generation, when I was a kid, my grandparents, no, I wasn't very lucky, but already my grandparents lived in a city. But still, for example, grandparents, they lived in a garden. They had a garden. So all year around, I spent the whole summer in their garden. It wasn't like a village, but more or less. We were crazy kids riding our bicycle, totally free. It was a lake and forest. So that was the greatest time of my life, my childhood. And unfortunately, like modern generation, their grandparents, they have forgotten about all these villages. They have zero experience. So that's why it's at least to show him how it could be like this wonderful summertime in a village without parents. That's also important, because now more and more parents, especially in the city, we are talking about these helicopter parents trying to control everything, because there are so many, I don't know, threats and monsters around the city. Of course, there are much more things that could happen in the city, and here children are really crazy that I can run, like for example, that's the field, let's run, and they run. And okay, that's can I like swim in this river? Yes, you can. Like, I can. Yes, you do, come on. And they like, like swim, run, such basic things that's almost feels like it's impossible in a modern city anymore. That was about the camp. Okay, I believe we maybe questions, or what else should we cover?
We can get started with questions if you like, or if you think if there's something else that people might want to hear. Either way is fine. Can maybe ask you some questions here.
No, sorry.
No, of course.
Our greatest mistake. Sorry, that was about. No, we are still idiots. Still. Какая самая большая ошибка? Ты хотел об этом сказать?
That's funny.
Ну, самая большая ошибка молодости то, что оформил 9 гектар, а не как Анастасия рекомендовала 1 гектар на семью.
Yeah, so that's our greatest mistake, that we always want to don't do like we did. And as Vadim, as he says, I was young, I was a bit stupid, but according to Anastasia, you should have 1 hectare
на семью.
For a family. How you told 2.5 acres, kind of, yeah. But we have 9 hectares. It's a lot of land. So not 1, but 9 hectares, 9 times more. And that's big mistake. So please don't repeat it. Don't No, it depends. Maybe if you have animals, if you plan to have animals, I agree that maybe +1 hectare for animals. And it depends what kind of animals, because, for example, horse needs more, or a cow needs more, but you don't need so much land. And that's the thing, that you spread your power, you spread your energy, you try to spread over 9 hectares, but it's impossible. So if we had one, it would be much more beautiful, I would say, much more cultivated, and just we try to, no, we have much more, and it's not a good example.
A lot of people like to question, why is it 2.5 acres? A lot of people like to question, why is it 2.5 acres? And I think you just answered that perfectly, right? Why is it just 1 hectare?
It's would be enough for just, you cannot, you still want to be a family, and you still want to enjoy the land. But if you have so much land, maybe we are so kind of a workaholics, but we still try to do everywhere. And it means all your efforts spread 9 times more. So when honestly, our kids domain, our personal kids domain, is not very beautiful, because I compare it with other people who have 1 hectare. So their land looks much more beautiful, much more cultivated, and they take care much better than we, because we try to do little but everywhere, and totally it looks like 0. And at the same time, we cannot sell it, or we cannot say, okay, let's, I don't know, forget about it, because it's already your piece of land, and you cannot just, 9 hectares too much. So
maybe what about giving it away to another family?
We're thinking about it, if we find somebody, but the thing that it's not a very good piece of land. It's kind of waterish, and it requires more effort to make it better. And if we're talking about our settlement, so people can find better land where they won't need so much effort, invest so much time, energy into there. So we're thinking about maybe our kids, or we've got some family members, so we still hope that they will come. And now we decided to, for girls camp, Vadim is building a house. We have a territory for boys camp. So we are trying to find how to use it in appropriate way. No, yes, more touristic way. For, yes, Vadim, because we have now a boys camp, where Vadim is building girls camp. Now we need to find a place for parents camp. So, and we have enough land for that. So we're still trying, and it will be more a touristic place, because when it's not a camp, children's camp, it will be, how to call it, camping, like for cars. We want to invest some, it's just what's going on, some ideas how to use it.
I see. There's something I wanted to ask you both that I think you are very uniquely prepared to speak on, and something that you've posted on your YouTube channel, Galina, and I'm sure Vadim has spoken about it a million times.
Sorry for my YouTube channel, but when it's summer, it's impossible to do anything. I'm just
no,
totally
I understand, it happens, but the videos that you do have, they're great. And what I wanted to say is, what are some misconceptions about Kin's domain life, or myths or misunderstandings, or because we always look at it from the positive angle of all the things that can kind of the dream, the aspiration to live this way, and the way that the books are written, it's in such a wonderfully positive, beautiful way. But then I feel like sometimes people don't see that there are some difficulties or real life situations that might happen, and they're not prepared to deal with those. And I'd really love to hear both of your thoughts about kind of just real life things that happen or things that people might have some misconceptions about or myths or anything like that. I feel like that could be very interesting to the audience.
То есть вот когда люди приходят, у них такая идеалистическая картинка после того, как они прочитали книги, и они приезжают к нам и хотят узнать про реальную жизнь. И вот что вот это несопоставление, вот эти, давай разобьем мифы, что вот люди так вот идеалистически думают,
что все живут дружно. Самый вот вообще прям вот все живут, и все друг другу помогают, все друг другу строят, прям вот ходят друг за другом, прям подтирают.
Okay, yes. No, you've heard it, that people here are very friendly, that they support each other, that they help each other, that they are eager, they are looking forward to whom I can help, like...
on the settlements, you mean?
Yes, on the settlement. And it isn't like that. There are surely some families that will come and help you if you need, but there are some families that, I don't know, they're quite isolated. They just don't participate in any common activities or anything. They like live. We know that they exist, but they don't do anything. And maybe it feels like they're a bit hostile towards us. I don't know why, but we meet them sometimes, but although they read the books, but I don't know how it works. We just cannot make friends, and they don't want to do it.
Никто не ест мясо, никто не курит, никто не проводит электричество.
Okay, yes. According to Anastasia, we all should be vegetarians, and nobody eats meat and nobody smokes. No, it isn't like that. It depends on the family. For example, we are vegetarians, but some other families, no. So they eat what they want. There are people who smoke. There are people who occasionally drink alcohol. Some people drink a bit more than usual, although they have read the books. And so that's it. But I don't know, it depends on the settlement. Some settlements are quite strict, and it's written in their rules that you shouldn't eat meat, for example, here, no way. But we are relaxed in this way. If you want to eat meat, just do it. No, of course, we are strictly against growing animals and killing them like that. And maybe my greatest, breaking the myth was like, I thought if a family started a king's domain, so it means they will be forever, ever. It will be such a strong relationship. But in practice, families still break. And it's very challenging to go through building and, creating king's domain, living there. So I see that not everybody, people may start it together, they share the same dream, but somehow they change. We still should remember that we are not robots, and yes, families break. But at the same time, families are created, new families. So before I thought it's something like eternal love. Unfortunately, it breaks.
Мне кажется, людей ужасает количество труда, которое им придется вложить. Вот они приходят, видят все вот это все вот перелопаченное, примеряют на себя, и у них опускаются ручки.
And the thing, when people visit our king's domain, they see how much work is done, how many buildings. I don't know, you should build that and start a garden, and this is maybe 2 gardens, a well, a place for animals, place for firewood. Vadim says that people are overwhelmed by this, how many things should be done. but please take into consideration that it's in 15 years. So it may seem that it's a lot of things that should be done, but actually when you think about the time, it's not, no, I cannot say it's not much. That's what you can do. It depends on the person.
Ну и то количество мифов, которое было 20 лет назад, и то, которое сейчас, разница раз в 100. Благодаря тому, что более 200 поселений и опыта накопилось море. То есть люди уже сначала начитываются, а потом уже едут почти без иллюзий.
And the thing is that time has changed, that if we compare the quantity of myth that people used to have 10 years ago, internet, but no much information and so on. Now people are much more knowledgeable, so they read a lot of information on the internet, such bloggers as Vadim, and now people quite, not much less myth, and almost people are quite realistic in this case nowadays.
Чаще всего спрашивают, какие есть у вас общие проекты. Вот это прям, вот это самый частый, то есть ожидают, хотят в такое поселение, где много общих проектов.
And Vadim says that a lot of people ask about projects. A lot of people want to have common activities, common business, and so on. But now, no, we have only one common project. No, we can have two. It depends. So we don't have so many common projects in our settlement. We are lazy. Maybe.
Сад Победы сделали.
No, yes, I told just only one project. Victory. No, okay, you build school. We have a common house, big common house for everybody. It's called school. Yes, but it's finished. It's done.
Дороги поддерживаем в нормальном состоянии.
Okay, Victory Park, our project. Then, okay, we select a special day when we clean our road, when we clean kind of special territories, common territories for settlement, yeah.
Вот, а все остальное между собойчики.
Ну, yes,
Например, у нас козы с одной семьей, девичья застава с этой же семьей.
No, and yes, for example, we have goats, and two goats, and third is a baby, and it's a common project with another family. So we started having goats, so they help us. So we have goats for two families, a kind of little common project for two families.
Строительная артель у меня с другим соседом.
And Vadim says with another neighbor, I have a kind of building community. No, again, it's kind of a group. They just have some projects and go to the next village, and they can repair a roof, or they can build something. It's a small building. They like builders. Next question. Okay, it was, I don't know what was the original question.
I was talking about myths or misconceptions and things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you did a great job.
We broke everything. Vadim says it's no more myths.
Yeah.
Самая большая проблема, что ездят люди, которые книги не читали. Лучше бы с мифами бы ездили.
The biggest problem that people who didn't read the books, they come here, and they start asking questions, and we like a bit so you should read the books first, and because you came, then go to a village, I don't know, go to eco village, and you start asking so many questions, but The thing is that you should just read the books first, and these are the answers to the question why we are here. So that sometimes blows my mind. Yes, when people write to Vadim and so, oh yes, we heard about the books, but we didn't read. And sometimes we say just read the books and then come, because they start asking so many questions and silly questions. It's why did you come here? It's logical just to read books and only then start finding.
Right.
The biggest problem. Yeah.
So we have a bunch of questions here in the Q&A section, Galina. Can you see that?
Should I open them?
Yeah, can you click on the Q&A thing?
Mm-hmm. Should I start with the top one, or I should scroll down?
All the way at the bottom.
Bottom, okay.
So I'll let you, if you want to get into those, I'll let you choose which ones you want to answer. It starts around well, it's kind of hard to
I
say.
see first one, Christina, myth about kin domains. It was a YouTube link. Okay.
That's your video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Can you receive such family on a There is such an interesting question about broken family to nurture the wholeness. That's quite a philosophical question. What kind of a broken family, if it's possible to bring them up? Is it our aim? It's not actually okay. They can come. It's a family issue. I cannot say anything about it. Of course, if they have this intention to build their dream, to build their kin's domain, that will be all for the better. But whether they will come back, reunite or not, as I told you already, I thought it was my myth that when families start building kin's domain, it means they will live forever. No, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. And there are so many things. So I hardly can answer the question.
All right.
Catherine.
Do you feel you're modeling a way of life that all humans who will survive will need to follow if they're going to survive? I guess that means if society gets bad or something, if things start going crazy.
Сейчас, подожди.
This is Catherine's question.
Thank you, Catherine. I cannot say that we are modeling a way of life. I forgot, but that's such a scene. Anastasia mentioned that a scene that Gardinya, if Svetlana, you can help me with translation, that I want to think that we are modeling a way of life, that all humans, that they will survive and so on. But I cannot say for all humans. For me, I feel like that's the way how it should be. And if you're for example, my major, how to say, phrase from Anastasia's book is that the reality you should perceive, you should understand, you should define by yourself. Like it was in my case when I was firstly married and my husband had a well-paid job, a car, apartment, we travel abroad, we had a son. So it was a perfect family, let's say it like that. we had enough money and so on. But I felt just it wasn't right. I didn't feel happy. And for him, I still know that he feels fine and he lives happily life. And I want to, okay, live like you want. I cannot say that we I'm not the God, I don't know. I believe that there are a lot of families who live happily in cities and they are trying to live eco-friendly, they are trying to live their life. If it makes them happy and their kids are happy, whatever, just live in a city. And if you remember Anastasia books, even she described the future in Moscow, and even 1 million still lived in the city. They still lived in Moscow. And I want to believe that they will live happily there. Although if they live in Moscow, it means that they maybe don't have their kin's domain, but somehow it's their choice.
I think the thing is, okay, when you woke up and you read those books, like your conscience and all your knowledge, you feel it, and when you woke up, there is no way to go back. Like, this is how, for me, I just kind of overstep the true God in myself. Like, if I'll go back, it's just I don't know, for me it's impossible. When you woke up, and it's just impossible to go back to city, or it's just that feeling who you are, who truly you are. When you felt that, when you felt who you are, there's you can change it. You can change yourself.
You know, now maybe I become older and maybe wiser. Never say never. So when you say that you will never ever come back to the city, who knows? I know there are some examples when people have to leave their kin's domain, and they, for example, they need to save some, earn some extra money or whatever. So there are some cases when people have to go back to the city and they use their kin's domain as country house where they spend summer only. You can't say that it's impossible, but the thing that it changes you forever, that's it. This experience, surely you cannot just forget about it. About the war in Ukraine, yes, Vadim, you're right. It's